Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another perfume review video. My name is Naz. This is my channel Toiletterian. I try to bring to your attention fragrances are usually very good value for money. They smell good. I think at least you should do your research, try them for yourself and see if they're any good to you. So today I have another unboxing and first impression plus an update for you, and this update is for the brand Zara. Obviously very famous brand in the world. They have almost branches in every country, and they have an extensive fragrance portfolio, shall we say, in men's line. Maybe about, I don't know, right now probably about 50 at least. They had many fragrances before, which they don't exist anymore unfortunately, which were very good, but because they go with the trend, they try to basically introduce new fragrances from now time to time. But there are some fragrances in their collection that they stayed there because most likely they were selling so good they couldn't discontinue them. And this line is a collaboration between them and Jo Malone. Somebody mentioned that Jo Malone, they don't she doesn't have the rights for the company anymore, so this is what she did afterward. This is her own collaboration with Zara, nothing to do with the Jo Malone brand anymore. Anyway, so Jo Malone is, as I said before, is quite pricey fragrances, and Zara is trying to make similar fragrances to them but much more affordable prices. This one is a gift box. It comes with 90 ml main bottle and a travel bottle size, which is a 15 ml, which is all together is 105 ml. Retails for £35, but I paid much less because it was on the sale. If you find it for a good price, I think they are worth the money. This one, Fleur De Patchouli, it's yes, I liked it. From the opening to the end, it was very nice. This one, it says Fleur De Patchouli. I get much more fleur than the patchouli. Patchouli is there to some extent, but it's not kind of patchouli that is earthy, chocolatey, resinous. No, fruity. No, this is a floral. So the patchouli is, again, is there to lift everything else in the fragrance. But you can feel it from time to time, the touch bit. But the good news is, the performance is much better than the first one. The Vetiver Pampelus, the performance was very disappointing. But with this one, the performance is much better. It lasted normally about 5 to 6 hours. If you put it on t-shirt, it goes even longer, maybe it's about 7 hours. So not bad, acceptable, quite respectable performance. The projection is about an hour and a half. Good room filler. Is very loud. It's one of those fragrances that actually don't need many sprays, maybe 5 sprays max. Okay, so it's quite loud, especially if we put it on t-shirt, you will stay there for a while. This one reminds me of 2 fragrances. So the first one is this one, Rosasi Darej. Very similar, I say 90% similar to it. The only difference is with the Fleur De Patchouli is a little bit fresher than this. This is deeper, this is thicker, and this one is a little bit more complex than the Fleur De Patchouli. Fleur De Patchouli is a bit simpler, and also this one is a little bit sweeter. So these are the differences, but the rest of it is almost identical. So that's why I say around 90% similarity. When I put it on, I was thinking, God, that reminds me of something. What is it? And then it hit me. It is Darej. So I put Darej in this hand and Fleur De Patchouli on this hand, and I was right. It was almost identical. I won't say it's a 100% copy, but it's very close. I'm not sure if they went intentionally to make something like this Daraj, which we know it is a dupe or an inspired or a copy of Valentino V, which is discontinued a few years ago. So maybe they went for Valentino V in the Fleur de Patchouli, I'm not sure. But very, very close to this. This one is not a pricey itself, around 25 to 30 pounds. So I'm not sure which one. If you're in an area that this one is hard to find, then Fleur de Patchouli, it is available for you. It is a good, basically an alternative. But to me, if this one is available, this is a better, more complex, deeper, little bit sweeter fragrance. But Fleur de Patchouli didn't disappoint either. It was quite good. I really, really enjoyed it. So this one is the first one, which is quite close to it. And the second one is this masterpiece. And this is Angaro Polome Free. This one is quite close, but it's not as close as Daraj. This one may be about 50% similarity, and that's because of the floral on this. So this got the rose and the violet leaf and a few other florals in there. The floral is very similar to Fleur de Patchouli again. This one got patchouli as well. So again, 50% similarity to this one, but 90% to the Daraj. So you can tell, this is how I'm explaining it, because you can tell, or you will know which way it's going. So these two are quite close. This one is around 50%, this one is around 90%. But on its own, it's a very, very solid fragrance. I really liked it. It's unisex, any sex can rock it, but you need to like your florals because it's big on the florals. And the patchouli is in the background. It's got a little bit of sweetness coming from vanilla, and because this one has got vanilla as well, which is quite similar to this one, and the violet leaf and the rose. So this one I would say is very good if you like floral fragrance and sweet floral. Okay, overall is I liked it, and I can recommend it if you find it for a good price. For retail, I think it's a bit of push. Although for a 90 ml it's about £25, that's not bad. Okay, so that's the overall impression of me of this quite a nice fragrance. Who is it for? Definitely 25 and up. This is better for going out, very, very formal. It's quite nice, it's quite uplifting, it's quite pretty, it is quite warm, but in the same time it's quite fresh and floral and citrus in the beginning. So it's quite a complex fragrance. I wasn't expecting to be this complex, because usually with Jo Malone fragrances that are not very complex, they are quite simple. So overall, yes, I recommend it. Okay, let's go to the next one, and the next one is today's unboxing and first impression, and this is another Lattafa. I don't need to introduce Lattafa anymore, because almost everybody knows Lattafa these days. I was one of the first to introduce Lattafa to the community about 5 years ago or something like that, and the rest is history. Now everybody is loving Lattafa. Reason is because they are very good value for money. What you pay and what you get, the ratio is always good, sometimes excellent. So let's unbox this and see. This one, Ejaazi Intensive Silver. Ejaazi Intensive Silver. I had the Ejaazi, the original, and it was quite nice, quite good. Unboxing bomb, and it was fresh and quite on the masculine side. I wasn't crazy about it, but overall it was quite a nice fragrance, and I gave it away to somebody who likes this kind of fragrances. So let's see how is this going. Alright, so sorry about the noise. So this one you can find again under £20, 100 ml, Eau de Perfume, and as always very good value for money. So very nice box, attention to detail is everywhere. Very, very nice bottle. Wow, look at that huge, heavy bottle. Very, very good looking bottle. Very eye catching. The massive heavy cap. It's about half a kilo. The cap. It says Lattafa on it, and a sprayer. The sprayer is quite good. Not perfect, but quite good. Okay, so how is the Ejaazi Intensive Silver? Here we go. First sniff, first impression. Quite spicy. So spicy and floral. This one is quite floral too. And very aromatic. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Very aromatic. So it's full of aromas. Spicy, aromatic, floral, and there's a woody backbone. What is that I'm smelling? It's like something like a herbal feel to it. Quite herbal, quite earthy, and it's quite green as well. So some people mentioned that this one is quite close to YSL, Yves Saint Laurent, L'Envie de l'Homme. It's pushing it a bit. I'm not sure because right now, no, or maybe a hint, but maybe in the dry down becomes more apparent. So right now in the beginning, for the first sniff, for the first impression, a hint of L'Envie de l'Homme, yes, but not much. I can't tell. I can't say this is a copy or 100% alternative or something like that. Right now maybe a hint of it, but I can smell the cardamom. The cardamom is quite strong in here, which gives it that spicy, sexy vibe, and the herbal notes are very apparent. The aromaticness is quite big, and is in the beginning it's quite fresh. So with Lavender Gnome is quite on the dark side. This one, it doesn't have darkness right now in the first sniff. Yeah, it's very happy, it's very uplifting, it's very inviting. In the same time, it's quite sexy as well. Okay, so it's got some elements to it that it reminds me of Carolina Herrera CH Man to some extent. So it's quite similar to that for the beginning. It reminded me of, immediately when I smelled it, it reminded me of that one. But maybe in the dry down will change. Okay, so but so far so good. It smells very good. Smells quite natural. Okay, obviously there are synthetic elements in there, but as always I said, 99.9% of the fragrances in the market, doesn't matter if you pay £20 or £2,000, they have synthetic elements. The reason being because not only for the cost, because of the performance. Okay, if you put all natural, they don't perform that well. Okay, they will perform to some extent, but if you wanted to go longer and much longer, especially if the oils are not good quality, or the oils are on the cheap side, or you don't want to put too much oils. For example, with my own creation, with my own fragrances, I put 60% oil. Okay, so 40% carriers, like oil carriers, and 60% pure perfume oils, pure perfume essential oils. Okay, so that's why with that one, when you put it on, it's like 24 hours in the skin, is huge. But because the ratio between what I put in the perfume, 60% perfume, you won't find it anywhere unless you go to a very, very expensive boutique or Harrods or somewhere very exclusive, and those one will cost you an arm and length, 200, 300, up to even £1,000. Okay, so that's why when I say there are some natural elements, yeah, maybe 10% natural element and the rest are synthetic, and that's why giving it a good vibe. It's quite palatable, it's quite acceptable, it's quite naturally smelling. For now, it's very nice. So it's quite sweet, it's quite spicy, it's quite woody, and it's floral, and also it's got some green aspect, aromatic aspect. This is for first sniff, and I'm loving it. So far so good. This one is no age. Right now, for the first sniff, it doesn't have any age. Anybody can rock it, and also is one of those fragrances that you can rock all year round. Doesn't have any season for it. But again, I will update you in the next video about performance, longevity, change, and things like that. And thank you very much, guys, for joining me. As always, if you like what I do, if you find it useful, if you find it informative, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell button for future uploads, share it with others. This way will help me to expand my channel. I'll be very grateful. If you know any of this, if you know any other fragrances that you recommend for people in these brands that you think they are good value for money and they perform well and they smell good, you put it in the comment. That would be useful for others to read, and I'll be very thankful. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later. Bye bye bye.